Hey, how's it going? I hope your spring is going well. I cannot believe we are in May already. It's just crazy to me how fast this year is going. Just so incredible. Anyway, let's jump into today's topic. I love it. As promised, from the last time that I had an episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about Croatia. And the title is Why Croatia is Europe's Best Kept Secret, but won't be for long. I really think that Croatia is Europe's best kept secret. It's amazing. It's an incredible country. So I just got back from a trip to Croatia, spent 8 days in three different cities, and it was an incredible, unforgettable experience. Okay, Croatia is really a combination of so many things, natural beauty, incredible history, and just this amazing, resilient, proud people, proud in a good way. They're just proud of their heritage and who they are. And so today I have put together 5 reasons why Croatia should be on your bucket list. This is why anybody would want to go visit Croatia. All right. Reason number one is the stunning coastline and beaches. So amazing. Croatia has 1,777 miles of coastline plus over 1,000 islands off the coast of Croatia. A beach lover's dream for sure. So Croatia, one whole side of Croatia is like a C shape, like a backward C shape. And that whole inside of the C, letter C shape, um, is on the water. It's on the Adriatic Sea. And this sea is ridiculously clear. It's so beautiful, crystal clear water. For my trip, I visited Zagreb, which is the capital, a city called Zadar, and Split. So, summer in Croatia is ideal for swimming, kayaking, sailing, all kinds of water activities. Um, I went in the spring, and a spring note, if you are going for the beaches, you probably don't want to go. I went in April, so you probably don't want to go in April like I did because the beaches are chilly. There's, cooler temperatures for sure. But the also great thing about the coastlines and the beaches are there's like hardly anybody on them, and so it's fun to take like coastal walks and things like that on the beaches if the weather is good. So, um, not all beaches are soft and sandy. In fact, a lot of them are more like rocky, a little bit rocky or shells, things like that. A Croatian joke is if you can get in the water without breaking a bone, it counts as a beach. So I loved that. One of our guides told us that, and I just got such a big kick out of it. Okay. Croatia has, this is reason number two to visit Croatia is there is such rich history and architecture all over. So Croatia is really a treasure trove of historical sites. Just a quick little history nugget. It was originally part of the Roman Empire, ruled by Venice for a while. Yes, because it is right across the Adriatic Sea from Venice, Italy. It was also part of the Ottoman Empire during I guess from World War II on, it was part of Yugoslavia, which had a communist rule. And now, ever since I think 1995 is when they got their independence. And now they are part of the UN, they're part of the European Union. They have a prime minister and a president as their government heads. So it's kind of cool to hear about all of that history that just goes back for so long. So um, with they do have a lot of really amazing fortifications and architecture from the Roman Empire, from Italy and Venice, um, a little bit from the Ottoman Empire, but you also see a lot of not in the old towns, but in the, newer part of the cities and towns, a lot of buildings that I think in my mind, they look communist, kind of just the very utilitarian and that kind of thing. So it's so fascinating, the combination of all of the different architecture that they have in Croatia. Okay, I loved the old towns. Old Town Zadar has fortifications and temples and city walls. Um, so it's really cool. This picture, this top picture that I am showing, if you can see my pictures, is a foundation from an old Roman courtyard. And then, of course, the bottom picture is one of the cathedrals that was built in more of like the time that Venice controlled the Croatia. But they also, Zadar has some modern fascinations. They have what's called the sea organ, and they have something called Greeting to the Sun. So the sea organ is this really cool invention that I don't know all the history of it, but it's this really cool invention that makes music depending on the waves and the wind. And it's really cool to sit. You really, there's nothing to see, so I didn't include a picture of it, but um, you can be right on top of it. It's right on the edge of the water. There's some steps that you can sit on, so you can sit on the steps going down to the water, and you can just listen to this music go like all the time. If there is wind, if there are waves, then you can hear this amazing music. So that's really cool. The Greeting to the Sun invention is a solar powered, really cool light show that happens in the evenings in Zadar. So you can really only see it at night. After the solar panels have been collecting the sun throughout the day, then it turns into a light show at night, and it's cool. All right, let's talk about a few other places. In Split, the big draw in Old Town Split is what's called the Diocletian's Palace. Diocletian was a Roman emperor back in the time of the Roman Empire. Back in the time of the Roman Empire, his name was Diocletian, and this was his palace. And so it's got this huge city wall all around it, and all of these amazing structures and things on the inside. Another piece of architecture that was really fascinating is called the Klis Fortress, and this is outside of Split. It used to be an old fortress. Now you can just go up and wander through it. And I've got a couple pictures of the Klis Fortress here, and you can overlook and see what the city of Split looks like from the Klis Fortress. And that's a really cool fortification. There is also a fun little town called Trogir. And Trogir is right by Split. It's its own little island town. And it's just this little tiny old town that is on this little tiny island. And it's just so charming. It's just very cute. I did not make it to Dubrovnik on my trip, so I've got that on my list for next time. I really do want to see Dubrovnik because it is amazing. It's got one of the only intact city walls around it and some amazing fortifications and sights to see. Okay, reason number 3 to visit Croatia would be the national parks and wonders. Okay, in my opinion, and probably anybody's opinion who has been to Croatia and has spent time there, these national parks and wonders are the number one reason to visit Croatia, because you can see a lot of these old towns and these amazing architecture structures and things like that in a lot of other places in Europe. But oh my goodness, the national parks are where Croatia absolutely shines. I got to see 3 of them on my visit. This first one is called Plitvice National Park. So amazing. There are 16 turquoise colored lakes. There are over 90 waterfalls, and it is absolutely magical. It's just so gorgeous. Every time I turned around, I was taking a picture of more waterfalls. And they have the pathways set up. It's just so amazing the way that they have the pathways set up. You just wind all the way through these boardwalks, all the way through the national park. And it's just so incredible and gorgeous. You can see the waterfalls from all these different angles and lots of different waterfalls. Every time you turn around, there is a new wonder and waterfall to see. Um, these pictures don't even do it justice at all. And I was a little disappointed that, like, you see so much gray and so much bare tree, surrounding these waterfalls, that there's not lots of deep, rich greenery. But our guides assured us that one of the amazing things about seeing the Plitvice lakes and the Plitvice National Park in this setting is that the water really pops without having all of the greenery around it, that you really focus on the waterfalls themselves. And so our guides thought that it was just amazing to see this time of year. Of course, they've seen it many times before, but they told us how incredible and basically made us appreciate it more, as if we didn't appreciate them enough. So they are just gorgeous. If there is any one national park to visit in Croatia, I would say visit Plitvice. It's amazing. Okay, the next national park that I want to talk about is called Peklentia. Oh, sorry, I think I said it wrong. The next national park that I want to talk about is called Peklenica. And this is a beautiful national park as well. It's much more mountainous and rugged. It has like these dramatic canyons and really interesting rock formations all the way up. There is a very clearly marked path um, to hike up Peklenica. I always want to say Peklencia, but I'm mispronouncing it. So there is a very clearly marked path. It's a rocky path, almost almost like pre-cobblestones kind of thing. It's very rocky, but it's very well delineated and marked. And it's quite an altitude gain to start at the bottom and to go up to the mountaineer's cabin where we ended up. It's an altitude gain of over 1,600 feet. So it's quite rugged and rocky. It is beautiful. It's just this beautiful canyons, and it really is gorgeous scenery. Okay, and the third national park that we visited is called Krka, Krka. A very fun, interesting side note about the Croatian language. They have words that have no vowels in them. They are not like English words where we have to have a vowel in it to make it a word. They have words that are just all consonants. So Krka has an A at the end, and that's pretty lucky, I think, because of all the continents in the word Krka. All right, I would say that Krka National Park is second to Plitvice. If you only have time to see one, like I said, I would see Plitvice. But if you are further south, if you are closer to Split or Dubrovnik, and you can't get up to Plitvice, which is a little more north, then Krka would definitely, for sure, be an amazing, incredible national park to visit. I would say, in my opinion, second to Plitvice, but it's just so gorgeous. There are 7 waterfalls and beautiful, like it's just this beautiful cascading. It follows the Krka River. And so it's this big wide river. It follows it from the Adriatic Sea to go inland into Croatia. And it is so gorgeous. Again, lots of great boardwalks to walk around and through, and all over the national park. It's just so amazing. Okay. One last little wonder that I am going to mention is caves. There are caves all over Croatia, from what I hear. And I visited one called the Varankaha Cave. It is outside of Split, fairly close to the Klis Fortress, not too far away. The stalactites and the stalagmites are amazing, incredible, and beautiful. So, if you wanted to see a great cave in Croatia, there are lots of them, and this is just one, and it did not disappoint. Okay, so the national parks and the wonders. Um, if you are into hiking or even just casual walking, you do not have to be a hiker, or just visiting Mother Nature, Croatia delivers in a huge way. That is an amazing aspect of the country of Croatia. Okay, we are on to reason number 4 to visit Croatia, and that is the food. I didn't really know what to expect. I had heard, I knew that Croatia is a Mediterranean country, but I didn't know how much influence that they would have from being a Mediterranean country versus a European country. I did eat lots of cheeses, lots of cured meats. Breads, some amazing, delicious breads, croissants. So in that way, I did see the European influence. Lots of Mediterranean salads. So it was great. As well as the traditional stews and crepes, and I had a pizza that was as good as any I have ever had in my life. So just the food is really varied and very good. Olive oils and wines that are made locally and exported. One fun fact, of course, there is seafood all over the place as well. And Zadar, and along that coastline, is a major tuna exporter to Japan for their sushi and all of the tuna that they eat in Japan. So I thought that was really interesting to find out. Okay, reason number, I think we're on 5 now. No, maybe this is 4. I don't know what number we're on. Anyway, another reason is the festivals and cultural events. Now, I did not specifically go to any festival or cultural event while I was in Croatia, but it would be a really fun idea to kind of get to know what those events are beforehand so that you could visit one or two of them on your trip. Um, but I did see, of course, all kinds of signs and advertising for different things that were going on either at the time or had just ended. One is a tuna, sushi, and wine festival, and that was in Zadar. And another is called a Dalmatia boat show. This sign for the coast along Croatia is called Dalmatia. Dalmatia. And this sign that is talking about the Dalmatia boat show, this was in the little town of Trogir. So it might be really fun to, I guess, look at the different festivals or events that were going on at the same time that you are planning a trip and see if it coincides with any of these. All right. Last reason to visit Croatia is affordability and accessibility, meaning not accessible as far as like handicap accessible, but just that it is well connected to major European cities. My flight that I had was through Amsterdam both ways. Just one stop in Amsterdam going and a stop in Amsterdam coming home. And so it was not a difficult connection. There aren't any nonstop flights into Croatia from any US cities yet, but that I'm sure that is a possibility. Um, Croatia is more affordable than Greece and Italy, and you'll be surprised at everything that you can include on a Croatia trip. These 2 pictures that I included, if you're watching the video, this is the right down by the sea organ, and so the sea organ is just off to the left of this picture, and what is in back of me, this is me and my sister, Sarah, who went with me, and what is in back of us is the solar panels that do the night show, the solar night show, which is really cool. So it's not quite dark enough. It's just barely dusk during the time of this picture, so you can't see the light show quite yet. And then the other picture that I included is some Croatian traditional dress. I thought that was interesting. Okay, when should you visit? I, of course, am partial to spring because I was just there in the spring. I feel like it's an amazing time to visit. And the group I was with um, another group of people, and we talked the whole time of how amazing it was that we had fewer crowds, that we had fantastic temperatures. You wanted to be outside most of the time unless it was raining. We did get some rain. If it was raining a lot, you may not have wanted to be outside much. But we wanted to be outside, and there weren't a lot of crowds, and it was just magical. The temperatures that we had, they were just so great and not super crowded. Summer, of course. If you want to go for the beaches and the water sports and things like that, summer would definitely be the time to go, or maybe late spring. I would say, end of May, beginning of June might be a good time to go, or late summer, kind of transitioning into fall might be a good time to go because you would still have it be warm enough to be able to access the beaches and the water sports, but maybe there wouldn't be as many crowds. Of course, summer, the national parks are going to be a lot more crowded and the temperatures will be hotter and more humid. But the bottom line is it doesn't matter when you go. It's an amazing country. So just visit Croatia. It's incredible. Um, this picture right here is Split, Old Town Split in the evening. And it's just beautiful along the waterfront. Okay, so whatever your reason, Croatia checks all the boxes. They've got the beautiful coastlines, the epic history, the breathtaking national parks, great food, affordable prices, and they are still under the radar. It's a hidden gem for now. I don't think they will remain that way because as people talk more and more about Croatia, I think a lot more people will start going as well. So they will not be such a hidden gem, but go soon before the secret is out, and I think you will be super impressed. I was very impressed with Croatia and the country and people. It's just an amazing place to visit. So, highly recommend. And if I can help you get there or anywhere else, let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you about your next vacation. And if you have any ideas for places you want me to talk about or topics you'd like me to address, things like that, please don't hesitate to contact me. I would love feedback on what you're interested in or more information about a certain topic. Anyway, thanks for being here, and we will talk to you in a couple weeks.